Hey guys, what's going on today? Welcome back to Life is Feudal Forest Village with me, Dalsu. It's raining and I'm trying to decide what to do basically. Somebody has commented and said don't zoom in and out so much. I'm going to try not to, honestly. I haven't played in a few days. I've been super busy in real life. Yes, I do have a real life. But I found myself drawn back to the relaxing nature of this game. Well, relaxing as long as you're doing a decent job. Anyway, we still don't have our school quite finished, but it looks like it's going to be finished this episode pretty quickly. Let me make sure all my menus are up and everything. We've got the one builder in residence. So he's working on that. Should be done. We don't have enough hay. That's the only thing that's holding us back. I thought I had collected quite a wide swath. The problem is it does not seem to grow back, which is very unfortunate. There's some over here we can gather. But that is actually going to be restrictive. If we're going to have a hay farmer, essentially. There's nothing else for it except for to just make that hay farmer. Of course, that's a guy that has to work just exclusively that job and can't do other things. Right now, our population units are pretty precious. Our most precious resource are our children. You heard it here. I don't know how concerned I ought to be about food. Last time when I starved to death, it was very sudden. I am now out of bread. And so this is sort of the sole provider of food for us. So I don't know. I think I'd like something else, like a gathering hut. Tool reserves are low, it says. But a gatherer's hut is going to take 3 people, so I don't know. Can we actually cram it in here? We can quite easily. Alright, we're going to do that. Not so sure if I'm going to turn it on directly or not. Sort of play it by ear. Oh, 25 hay is what's between me and having a school right now. This is bullshit. Gather the hay. It's because we have so much stuff assigned, really, and not enough laborers to do it with. I suppose this gatherer's hut is going to require some hay as well. Only 10. Alright. It's wintertime right now, so we could plant some hay for next season. If we really wanted to. Space could be an issue. Are we completely out of vegetables now? Wow. Those vegetables went quick. It's only year 2 though. I don't know if we had like a full crop. I can't remember. So close. That means the farmer should be foraging and doing all this labor that we've instructed them to do. We just probably assigned too much shit. That's what happened. It takes forever for them to chip the stone. Like, the hay's really fast, the trees aren't too bad, but chipping stone seems to take a really long time. Get this hay. Top priority. Man, it's really snowing. This guy doesn't have hay. He does have stone, but it's not brought yet. Okay. Fine. Keep an eye on that food, man. It's dipping. It's definitely dipping. So we want that gatherer's hut. We're going to have to invest our people in the gatherer's hut. We're not going to be able to do a hay field right now. We really can't even afford to have a teacher right now. All things considered. But I guess having a teacher would make sense because we'd catch more fish in the long run and we'd gather more herbs and spices and whatnot. They just flat out work more efficiently. Also, we're going to run out of tools if we don't build up a little bit more. The thing is, we're about full up on room. We have 2 spaces for babies, and that's it. We have four kids that are going to grow up into adults before too long. 3 babies who are going to grow up into teenagers, and hopefully be the first group of people who are actually educated. That's the goal anyway. So we'll see if we can manage to pull that off. What are you guys doing? You're probably huddled inside. No, you're actually working. With ore, huh? You're gonna go get warm, right? Seem to be doing alright on firewood. Another baby was born. So we're almost at capacity. We're gonna have still have 2 spaces. Okay. So we could throw down another hut and pray that we'll have enough food to feed this person when they when they end up having babies and stuff. But really, I think we let the 5 kitties, or the almost, 8 when you count babies and stuff, grow up, and that way we have a labor pool to draw from. Because right now we just don't have that labor pool, and it's holding us up. For example, if I could get a field with some hay, I wouldn't have to wait around like a jackass for 1 hay like I am right now. Or 10 hay for this gatherer's hut, for that matter. The gatherer's hut doesn't work in wintertime anyway, so it's not super high priority. But I would like for these 3 little babies to grow up and be educated, if you could find it in your heart. All right, so now we're actually constructing the damn thing finally. And yeah, you can see the amount of fish dropping. I'm hoping that it being late winter, and by the time the gatherer's hut gets up and it's springtime and the sky's planted, that will be okay. But we don't want to grow anymore at this level of food. It's not going to work. We're going to run out of food, and that's going to be, game over again. Season 2 is going to be short if we're not careful. So we're going to have to really pay attention to our food levels. Food, I kind of overestimated how much food there was in my last playthrough. I swore to myself I wasn't going to do that this time. But it's looking like I might have already made that mistake. I think once the gatherer's hut is up, we'll see some stabilization there. We've got all the materials, so it's the fact that I only have 1 builder that's holding me up. But it's still cold anyway, I think. Still see the frost symbol there, -3. So the gatherer's hut can't really start anyway. The school can start though, so. And I'm still waiting for these guys to get pregnant. But whatever. This is enough houses for right now. We can't in good conscience put down another house, knowing that we probably won't be able to feed it. Also, we probably don't have the goddamn hay. Strategic hay resources are low. And we have to think, of course, about clothing, and we have to think about tools. Those things become important as you sort of develop. It lets you get a lot more out of your population. Right now we have neither. Well, we have some tools, but we won't have them for long. Okay, so we're going to start working our field now. So it is time that you go ahead and finish these productions. I'm going to assign 3 builders just so they can go up there. Get that gatherer's hut started. And then those 3 will probably end up just becoming gatherers. Maybe 1 school teacher, I don't know. Who can I eliminate? Probably no one, huh? I could eliminate a forester. Maybe. We'll make that decision when we come to it. For right now, though, just get the shit done. I definitely want this thing up. I don't know where my builders are hiding. They're finishing the school, okay. So there's 2 on it now. Should be done really quickly. Good, finally, man. That was an epic fucking ordeal getting that school up. Alright, I'm going to steal Forester because we seem to have enough trees at the moment, or enough logs, rather. And they're going to become our school marm. Boom. So we immediately fill up with all 5. That's nice. Last time it didn't seem like all 5 would, or all the teenagers would go to school, only some of them. And the construction is complete on the gatherer's hut, so we're going to eliminate our builders and we're going to send them straight into gathering so that we do not starve to death. Yeah. That's going to be important. I do wish the barn was a little bit closer, but there's not much we can do about that unless we want to build another barn. Yeah, I mean, it sort of limits the effectiveness a little bit, now that I think about it. A close-by barn would be certainly better, but I think this will do. I'd feel much better if I had one more food producing building, whether it's another fishery, another farm. If it's going to be a farm, I've got to do it now, so... Haven't really messed with orchards yet. What I could do is do a hunter's lodge like right over here, because that would also protect this area from hunters and stuff. But I think the hunter's lodge needs trees all around it. Anyway, we're going to throw down a hunter's lodge. We don't have anyone to build it just yet. I'm kind of assuming some of these kids are going to grow up at this point. I'm hoping. Can I actually see how my gatherers are doing? Gathering, gathering. 17 veg. Going down here to the barn. Okay. That's what you like to see. Now you're going to eat. Now you're going to carry food to your house. Not doing a whole lot of working, are you? These people don't work for shit. Okay. Anyway, that's going to generate some vegetables, at least for now. Hopefully we can come to have some kind of stockpile of vegetables before the wintertime comes. And fruit. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty tough winter. Now, the hunting cabin can also work through wintertime, which is a sort of added benefit. So I guess it might make sense to sacrifice someone to build it, but who? Well, we have 366 wood, so I guess we can do without the forester for right now. And instead make that our builder until someone grows up. Of course, we could conceivably run out of wood and thus firewood, which would suck, but I think 600 firewood is more than our population can really use right now, so I'm not too scared about that. Much more scared of running out of food. So I want the hunter's cabin up. I don't know how I'm going to staff it necessarily, but I'm thinking it can protect some livestock in here eventually. Like maybe some chicken coops. Yep. And then we'll start to flatten out this area for more farming, heavy duty farming and such. That's just what I'm thinking at the moment. Of course, without much labor, it's really hard to do anything. And these guys are still not having babies. Despite the upgrade, they're still not having babies. We're back up into the 500s on fish, and we're into the 100s on veg. So that's good. And we're going to get 320 from this guy, right? That's the plan anyway. Weeding earth. Our tools are going to go bad. So we need a blacksmith. We got to have more kids grow up before we can do any of that stuff, though. We can survive without tools, and we can survive without clothes. The thing we cannot survive without is food, and I think firewood you'll also die if you don't have. But we're not really in danger of running out of firewood. We can always have some people just go chop a few trees, you know, spur of the moment. This hunting cabin actually finished. Alright, good. What I'll probably do is move my gatherers, like wintertime comes, and the gatherer's hut shuts down. I'll move my gatherers into hunting. That makes sense. Although I assume it would take them a while to actually get started as hunters. We've got one new teenager ready to work. And we've got this builder that we can take back. So I could go ahead and have them start hunting. Or I could use these people for other purposes, like starting the flattening process, which is going to be a pretty large undertaking. We want to flatten to height, and we want to choose this height, and then we want to expand our area. This is going to take 40 hammers. That's quite a big job, but let's do a little more. So we're at 70. That's an even bigger job, but it's a good start. Do it. Hey, everybody's growing up. That's great. Maybe they'll have their own babies now. Yes! This guy decided to have one. So we've ensured the next generation. Although we would like more houses here at some point because we need more people. However, I'm very scared that they will eat all the food and then we'll be screwed. Is this being harvested now? Okay, it appears that it's time. Yep. Alright, we've got some food stored away for the winter. Not nearly enough, but we've got some anyway. Still no baby. Maybe once this teenager grows up, she'll have a baby. Still a lot left to be harvested. Which is good, because we need more than 400. It's interesting that the barn also holds the firewood, not the warehouse. We are going to have to build a hayfield. There's just no other way for it. Anyway, how's this going? 18 out of 44 is not that bad, really, at this point. Keep going. And we'll gradually expand that as time goes on. Do we want hunters right now? That's the question. Would we rather have this flattened, or would we rather have the hunters? I think we can have them flatten this and then go become hunters. Like, finish the job. It's going to be nice to have that little bit more space there. And I might get rid of this tree because it's blocking my view. And I want the wood. Because right now we don't have any foresters, remember? I know they look nice, and eventually I will let trees grow up in my town. For right now, visibility is very important. And they've almost done this job. So now we've got 4 labor. We've got 4 teenagers still. Do we go with the blacksmith at this point, or do we try to grow a little bit more? I think the hunting cabin is going to let me grow just a tiny bit more, like maybe 1 more shed. And I have this new space over here that I can use for that. So I think that's going to be okay. Is this done? It appears to be done. Does it say when it's done? No. It doesn't give you a little update, but I'm going to call that done. And so 3 people are going to go become hunters and hopefully bring home the bacon, because it is fall already. We've got 700 vegetables. Now, someone told me that he's going to start a second crop but not finish it, and it's going to all go to waste. But if you hit the manual gather button, you can get some potatoes out of it. So I don't know, we might try to do that. And once it's all said and done, we're probably going to throw down another shed, because we're not going to have any babies. We only have 1 space left, and they're not making babies for whatever reason. So I think a shed is the next logical thing. It is a shed, right? What is it? Shack, shed, whatever. Shack. Okay, even that huge space, what felt like a huge space, is really not that much. Might make more sense to do it here, but it would require more dirt work, so... Why is it not letting me? There's a little line here of contour. Alright then, how about just going by the beach? Yeah, let's do that. Go by the beach. And we'll assign that 1 guy to be a builder. Cool, we're getting some fresh meat here. We've got a pretty good stock of vegetables, decent stock of fish. I think we're all set to live through another winter time. I'm excited to get a new shack down and have a few more babies be born. I will have to upgrade it as well, and I don't know if my straw is going to allow that. My lack of straw. but we'll see. I didn't quite get to... Well, maybe if I click this button, he'll harvest it. Forester's Lodge still sitting empty as we continue to churn through our wood. But I think we should be pretty well fed at this point. I need larger scale farming is what I need. But first, a blacksmith. First, well, blacksmith first, and then we'll sort of take stock, I think. It would be nice to have an iron mine or whatever that you need. You need all kind of stuff for the blacksmith. It takes a lot of workers. So I need to be growing up to the blacksmith level and making sure that I'm well fed first. Okay, let's go ahead and straight upgrade this shack right away before people get too comfortable. As long as this barn remains full, everything else will fall into place just as it should. Alright guys, well I think that's about a nice solid 20-minute episode. And I'm just going to record another one right back to back, so I'll see you guys then. Peace.